It's strange how love can break you, reshape you, and make you stronger, all at once. Sometimes, the person you thought would love you forever becomes the reason you learn to love yourself. My story isn't the usual fairy tale. It isn't about a love that never falters. No, my story is about a love that shattered me, but in the end, taught me how to rebuild. I never imagined that the pain I once thought would destroy me would turn into the very thing that saved me. I was a girl full of hope and dreams, convinced that love was the answer to everything. I grew up in a world that told me love would make me complete, that a soulmate was my destiny. I wanted that more than anything. And when I met him, I thought I had found the one. He was everything I imagined, kind, charming, and caring. I felt like the universe had finally given me the one thing I'd always wanted: unconditional love. In the beginning, everything was perfect. We laughed together, shared our deepest secrets, and built a life that seemed destined for forever. It felt like a dream, a love story straight out of a movie. But as life often teaches us, not all things are meant to last. It didn't take long for cracks to appear in our perfect world. At first, I ignored the warning signs. I brushed off the little arguments, the subtle changes in his behavior, thinking it was just a phase. I couldn't imagine a future without him, so I pretended everything was fine. But the cracks kept deepening, and before I knew it, I was standing on the edge of heartbreak. He started pulling away. The calls became less frequent, the texts shorter. I told myself it was nothing, that it was just a temporary distance. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. I remember one night, after a long silence between us, he looked at me and said, "I think we need some space." My heart sank, but I couldn't bring myself to argue. I wanted to believe that it was just a momentary struggle. I never thought it would lead to the end. And then it happened. The day I found out he was seeing someone else was the day my world crumbled. I never saw it coming, even though all the signs were there. My heart broke into a million pieces. I felt humiliated, abandoned, and lost. The person I trusted the most had become a stranger to me, someone I barely recognized. The man who had promised me forever had betrayed me in the worst way possible. But what hurt the most wasn't just the betrayal. It was the fact that I had loved someone so deeply and given everything to someone who couldn't even offer me the same in return. I remember feeling empty, like I was walking through life in a fog. The world kept spinning, but I couldn't keep up. I thought I would never love again, that my heart was too broken to heal. I shut myself off from everyone, refusing to let anyone in. I didn't want to feel the pain, the humiliation. But time, as it always does, kept moving forward. Slowly, I began to realize something I hadn't before. The pain wasn't the end of me. It was the beginning of something new. I started to rebuild my life, piece by piece. At first, it was hard. I didn't know where to start or how to start. But I knew I couldn't stay in that dark place forever. I had to make a choice, let the hurt define me or find a way to rise above it. And that's when I made the most important decision of my life. I chose to love myself. It wasn't easy, and it didn't happen overnight. There were days when the pain would resurface, when I would question my worth and wonder if I was ever truly loved. But with each passing day, I got stronger. I started doing things for myself, things I had put off for far too long. I rediscovered my passions, my dreams, and my strength. I learned that love didn't have to come from someone else for me to feel complete. I had everything I needed within myself. It wasn't about forgetting him or pretending the past didn't matter. It was about understanding that I was worthy of love, of respect, and of happiness. I had been broken, yes, but I wasn't defeated. I had learned that love doesn't always go the way we expect. Sometimes, it teaches us more through loss than it does through joy. The lessons I learned in the depths of my heartbreak became the foundation for my future. Over time, I met people who valued me for who I was, not for what I could give them. I made new connections, forged new relationships, and began to trust again. But this time, I didn't rely on someone else to define me. I had learned to stand on my own 2 feet. I had learned that I didn't need anyone to complete me. I was already complete. Looking back now, I can see how far I've come. The pain of the past no longer holds me captive. I've learned to forgive, not for him, but for myself. I've learned to love again, but this time, the love I give is to myself first. I've learned that life is not about waiting for someone to love you, but about learning to love yourself, flaws and all. Love is complicated, and sometimes it can break us. But the beauty of love is that it can also heal us. It has the power to transform, to build us up even when we feel like we're falling apart. My heart may have been shattered, but it was never destroyed. In fact, it's stronger than ever before. And I know now, more than ever, that I am worthy of love, not because someone else tells me so, but because I believe it. I am stronger, wiser, and more whole than I've ever been. I am not defined by the love I lost, but by the love I found within myself. And that is the most powerful love of all.